Trick or treat! Hey everybody, Jen from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am here with another project for Country Craft Creations. This is my Doodlebug Sweet and Spooky Trick or Treat Folio. So you guys saw my little photo wallet I did here a couple weeks ago. That goes with this, and then there's going to be a third project that also goes with this. So let's take a look. This is 9x9 with a 2-inch spine. I did take the cute stripe, rainbow stripe paper and turn it and cut a diagonal square out of it. I should have done it on camera. I honestly wasn't sure if it was going to work and look like I wanted it to, so I didn't. So literally all I did was take like my paper, I laid my album on there and I traced my edges and then cut it down. That's all it took. Okay, nothing too difficult. On the front here, I've got several layers. I've got some odds and ends. I've got a chit chat piece that I backed on a piece of the solid cardstock that goes with the collection. Chit chat, and then I took the, what is this one? Hello Sugar Doodle Pop that's got all the little candies and added some of those pieces along with the pieces from the odds and ends. The little candy pieces in this collection just absolutely cracked me up with the gummy worms and these little rainbow, like these little sour rainbow things. My son loves these. Like, he is all about the sour candies. So we've got like the little Smarties and the candy corns, which I love candy corns and you cannot change my mind. Anyway, all right, so once we open this up, here we go. Super easy folio on this side. On this side, we've got a spot for the photo wallet, which is the tutorial I posted a couple weeks ago. So that slides in here. I did use the last of my patterned acetate to make the flap for this. There is a magnet hidden here and here to hold that closed. We have a big solid chipboard box pocket on the back here that this sits on top of. And I do have something else coming, excuse me, that will go in this pocket. But let's get to the folio. So on this side, we have a very, very easy, straightforward folio. For this little flap down here, I did take that tag sheet from the collection. And let me grab that because I've got another one. This is what it looks like. All I did is cut this down to 4x6, which is 3 tags, you know, trimmed 1/8 of an inch off so that I had my matting the way I wanted, and I put that on my flap here, and then I did actually trim the corners of that flap to match up with the tags. I glued the tags on 3 sides, so this is a pocket. I did use, I think, 4 sets of magnets in here. But you could use ribbon if you wanted to. I like my magnets. That's all I can say. Okay, so this folds down. You've got place for a photo here. I used the mini icons to build a little haunted house scene down at the bottom. This is from the This and That sticker sheet from the paper collection. These little guys are from the icon sticker sheet. So there's mini icons and there's icons and then there's odds and ends. You'll have same elements in all three of them in different sizes, okay? Chit Chat pieces here. This is also from the This and That sticker sheet that comes in the paper collection. And this just opens up like so, so you've got space for photos all over. This is going to flip up. On the top, again, on my flaps, I made these into pockets with the tags, just like so. These, I did not do the dog ear on these, but that's okay. Used one of the acetate ghosts here and here. And then the back side is the same thing, that those flaps are also pockets. And then I've got just a nice layout page here where I've seam built, you know, again, with the little houses and the trees, and then I've got a moon and a bat, and then having a spectacular time from the Chit Chat collection. Down here, we've got another nice pocket here with a little notch so that it stays along in the same vein as the pockets and things in the photo wallet there. Again, odds and ends pieces. The back side here, we've got another photo mat, and then I used the acetate spider webs up at the top. Here, again, we've got more Chit Chat, sticker from the This and That. This is from the Chit Chat, and then I've got puffy icons here. Open that up, and these little words are, or little phrases are from the This and That sticker sheet, and then the candy corns are from the mini icons. Then we've got this direction, and again, I've got just another nice big photo mat here, a bunch of our little trick-or-treaters going around the photo mat, and then here I've got a little waterfall that is built on a pocket, which that's what that piece was cut for. I knew it was sitting there for this is supposed to go in here. And then it's just a little 4x4, very simple waterfall, all the way down to, you know, the nice little thing there. And then it is also on top of a belly band, so if you've got more photo mats, or if you wanted to make an insert or two to put in here, you can absolutely do that. I'm going to tuck that back down in there because that is where that was supposed to go. I couldn't figure out why I had this like random piece of paper sitting here. Okay. So that's it. That is the folio. Tutorial starts next. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I love when you make your versions of my tutorials. You can use any paper. It doesn't have to be the Doodlebug. It could be anything, and it would be awesome to see somebody else do this in another paper. So, tutorial starts next. Thank you for watching, and let's get going. Okay, so we're going to start with our base. You need 2 sheets of chipboard 9x9. Cardstock to wrap those is going to be 11x11. We have the back, of course, completely covered with tape. If I can get the backing off of the tape, that would be helpful. I have a helper in here tonight. Okay, so I'm just going to use my 1-inch spacers. I'm going to lay this down. Move that one out of the way. Go to the next one. And cardstock is 11x11. Chipboard is 9x9. Anyway, I started to say I have a little helper in here tonight. My son is in here doing watercolor pictures. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Our spine is going to be 9x2. And to wrap that, our cardstock is going to be 5x11. We're going to use our 1.5-inch spacer. Again, the back is covered in tape. I cannot get the backing off of these tonight. Okay. All right. And then I have another weird little element we're going to do, but let's do this first. All right. So I want my scissors and my bone folder. I'm going to start with my spine. I'm going to fold this up and over and burnish it down, over and down. You want to use the chipboard to help you fold that over. Okay, so now you can see we've got a nice line here. So I'm going to fold this and miter, other end, and miter, and miter. And then like so. Okay. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and do score tape on the ends here. I'm going to get the backing off my tape. And then I'm going to run glue along the edge of the chipboard, up in there. Use my bone folder, push it up, and then over and down. I need a new paper towel. Hold on. And then again along the edge of the chipboard and the open area. You know what, with that, honestly, I think I like this one better. For my other things I do with this, I love this one. Okay, so I'm just going to work this down over the edge of the chipboard, like so. So you get that distinct line on the sides there. You can set that one aside for a minute. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with folding the cardstock around the chipboard on both of our cover pieces. I'm going to go ahead and miter. Okay. And then we're going to go around again with the score tape. And then get the backing off the tape again. And you can do these one at a time. I do tend to do them all at once. Okay. I don't remember how I was doing this the other night with this. Oh, like that. That's what I was doing. Okay. And then again. Okay. Okay, do our second piece the exact same way. So fold, 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 and fold. And then we will miter and miter. Okay, fold that in. And I am probably about out of this score tape. I'm gonna have to grab another one. We'll see if we can make it all the way around. Okay. And then again with the backing off. Don't stick it to your arm because that's not helpful. Over here laughing at his mother. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to take this. I am going to run tape along this outside edge. You want this with the pretty side up. There goes that roll of tape. Let me grab another one. Okay. Now, I'm going to get the backing off of one side. I am going to run glue like so. I will take this piece, I will use my fingernail to kind of guide it. Make sure I'm flush at the top here. Pull this over until it slides off the chipboard on the edge there. And then I will repeat on the opposite side as I figure out where I put my piece. I don't think he's ever actually stayed in here when I'm recording something. He has no idea the insanity that goes on. Okay, so again, over, drop it down, and I felt that one move, which we do not want, which is the reason for the tape. Okay, now I have a piece that is 6 by 8 7/8 to use on this inside to reinforce this. Even if you glue everything else, this piece you do want to use tape because this will make sure that this goes down smoothly, that it is completely adhered down every inch, and it's not going to bubble on you if you go to bend this and it hasn't dried yet or whatever. You're not going to have glue lines. Just overall, how cute. It's the better way to go. Okay, and I am going to find my pencil and I'm going to erase my measurement off of there just so that I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Oh, here, give me the other thing. Okay, so this is what he's been doing. He's been taking different things in my craft room and drawing them.
Yes, so very talented.
Okay, so that is down. Okay, so now I'm going to turn sideways. I'm going to burnish down into that crease as I fold that up. Same thing here. Fold it over, and then I like to kind of pinch it. I just think that that's going to help it get set in there where it needs to be. And even everything out. Okay? And there we go. Okay, this part's going to be a little bit different than anything I've probably done in the past. Okay, cardstock, 12 by 10. I have a score tape sheet that is cut to 10 by 8.5. Okay, what we want to do is put this in our scoreboard with our 1-inch spacer on the side. Okay, I'm going to carefully, I don't need that for this part, fold corner back. Make sure this is lined up. That is the wrong corner. I need the opposite corner so I can start with it facing me. I'm going to line this up at the top against the side. Okay. And then carefully pull that off. Okay. We're doing it this way for a reason that will hopefully make more sense here in a minute. Okay. So now I'm going to take this. I need a piece of chipboard that is, what is this? 8 7/8. Sorry, I had to think. 8 7/8 by 7. Okay, you're going to have to kind of eyeball this because it's not going to be exact, but you need it not quite, it's going to be just over 1.5 inches from each side. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn mine this way. You know what, let me do this. I've got 1.5 inch spacers. Okay, I happen to have 2 sets. That will make this a little bit easier if you do have 2 sets. Okay, if not, it's okay. Put 1 and give yourself just a little bit of a gap. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave this in here all the way to the top. I'm gonna hold that down. I'm gonna lift this up, peel this back, that is. It's gonna be a little tricky, but it can be done. And then I want to tear that backing so that 1-inch strip stays on the top there. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead, I'm just very carefully lay my 1.5 inch spacers down. They will pop right back off of the score tape, that's not an issue. I'm going to push this up against the top. It is close to centered on there as I can. And then apparently not get my things back off. And very slowly, apparently. Peel this back up. Try really hard not to tear the cardstock. It's pulling up off of the cardstock, but we can put it back down, that's not a problem. did not work as intended, but that's okay. Because you know what I'm gonna do on this other side? Because, you know, these things don't occur to me until after one way doesn't work. Oh, come on. Get under there. Aha. God bless undo. That's all I'm going to say. Oh my lord, that did not work as intended. Okay, we're good. So, next up, I have 1/2 inch wide pieces of chipboard that we're going to go on the side here. Okay, these we're going to put to the outside edge of that score tape. Okay, you want to put it flush with the top with the 1 inch. Sorry, I did not mean to move that spacer yet. But you want it with the outside edge of your tape here. Okay. All right. Now I have another one that is 8 7/8. That one's going to go along the bottom edge, like so. Okay. I realize this is very weird. I apologize. But I tried this a couple of other ways that were not successful. And this, quite honestly, was about the best method I could come up with. Okay. So what I'm going to do is hold this flat. I'm going to fold this over. Okay. And that will get that crease we need for the bottom, and then we can fold the other side up and over. Okay. Okay, so you should be able to see your lines here. Okay. Do the same thing. So I'm holding this. In fact, let me grab my other camera really quickly here and see if we can give you a better angle on how I'm actually doing this. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if this is better. Okay. So I'm holding it like this, okay? And then folding it over like so. Okay. And then back. Okay. Make sense? Probably not. I'm not even sure what I'm doing. At this point, we are still experimenting, and if it works, it will go in the final tutorial. And if it doesn't, then you will never know this happened. And we will go what was going to be my initial way I was going to do this that I decided really did not work. Okay, so let me switch us back. Okay, now I'm going to cut a slight angle like so. Okay, same thing there. Slight angle, and that angle is not in the right place. There we go. Okay, now we're going to fold this up and over. Okay, and you'll see this will go flat, so we have the flat bottom of our box. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pinch that there so I know where my line should be. Okay, so now we got our line. And we'll just cut right along that edge. Okay. Like so. Okay, so now we're going to fold this in. And this one's going to be a little bit trickier because we've got that tape still up there, or the tape backing, that is. Okay. We want to do the same thing where we're going to fold this over, kind of pinch so we know where we need to cut that line. Okay. Now, pull the backing up here. It's just slightly stuck under there, but we can work it out. It's not a big deal. Even if you can't get every little bit of it, it's not ultimately going to make a difference. Okay, so now we're going to go up, over, and down. Okay, so now you've got your nice finished edge for the top. On these side pieces, I'm just going to cut even with the side of that chipboard. And then we're going to figure out about where that needs to go there and cut that one off as well. Which that one, actually, we can fold those over and we can miter this like so. Okay, like that. Okay, so what's going to happen, these sides are going to come up like so. Oh, that's why, maybe there's something weird here. This needs to go all the way in. It's like, why is this folding like it's supposed to? That would be why. Okay, those need to go all the way in. Like, so this is totally different than how I would normally do these. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to push that in. I'm going to have to do it the opposite way of how I normally would do this. Normally I would not miter in towards my corner, but in this case I'm going to have to. Okay, so these are going to come up and over like so. That piece will eventually get tucked down in there. We're not going to worry about that just yet because we probably need to trim it a little bit. This is going to come up and in like so. So I'm going to go ahead and get some glue on here. We're going to stand that up. Actually, it's even easier. Okay, that'll give you your angle. And get that side pushed up in there. Okay, go to the opposite corner, make sure this is standing up. Everything is up where it needs to be. And we'll glue that tab to the side. Okay, if it'll stay, which mine does not want to. Which somehow I am not surprised. Okay, I think what I need to do is, that is not the right clip. Hold on. Okay. Okay, that is going to go like so. This one is also going to do the exact same thing. Okay, I am going to let those sit and dry, and I will be right back. Okay, we're going to change tactics a little bit on the bottom of this because I cannot get it tight enough in here like I want it to. See how it keeps pulling out? So what I have is what would this be? Not 3/8, this would be 7/16. 3/8 inch score tape on the back. So it's not quite as wide as my bottom, but it's very, very close. And what I am going to do, this doesn't need to be exact, where it's on the bottom, we're going to end up matting over this anyway, so it's not ultimately going to matter. Okay. Just going to kind of eyeball, center left to right, side to side, and put that down. What I can do then is get this pushed in completely flush and bring it over and down. Okay. Should have gone that route to start with, but quite honestly, I didn't think it was going to be as much of a fight with this as it ended up being. So, live and learn, right? Okay, so that's good. Our sides are going to go in like so. And honestly, I think I'm going to do something very, very similar because that will also kind of reinforce this back. So what I'm going to do is go, we're going to go 15/16. Must be the day for the horrible measurements, and I apologize. Somewhere here I have bigger score tape. Hold on. Well, I had 7/8. Did you say? Apparently not anymore. So we are going to go with 3/4 inch. Okay. So 3/4 inch tape, 7/8 inch strip. I'm going to put this, okay, so here's my tab. Not quite to the end, but close. Okay. Then I can pull up one side, get it all the way up level where I want it. Oops. And I'm going to go ahead and get some glue in here as well. Okay. And then over and around. Okay. Doesn't look the prettiest right now, but again, you're going to mat this and decorate this, and actually it's not going to matter because something goes on top of this. So truly, it's not going to matter. Okay. Over and over. And then we have our box pocket. Okay, so this piece that's going to come down in here just to kind of reinforce, or not reinforce, to cover up the raw edge there. Just needs to be mitered a little bit here. So, like I said, I'm going to have to break my own rule and do it towards where I'm trying to trim it, which I don't normally do. Okay. So again, just get the tape off of there. If you wanted to try and glue this and you have lots and lots of different little clamps and things, by all means, go for it. I, quite frankly, tonight do not have the patience. Okay, so this, you can decide if you want to put this in the front or the back. So it's not quite in the top where I would like it to be, but that's okay. Okay, I think I am going to go to the, well, no, I think I'm going to go to the back because this will be heavier. I don't want this heavier piece like squashing my flaps and things. But, all right, so then let's do this. So again, we are going to let the tape help us. Go around my outside edges. And then we will use a combination of the tape and the glue to get this down. So, all right. Since this side over here is definitely the one that really needs to be exact, that is where I'm going to start. So I am going to pull this and bend it back. Okay. I am going to get glue on here and down here. Oops. I'm going to lay this where it needs to go. And I'm going to use the scoreboard for its nice straight sides to get that 90-degree angle in there. What did I just do? I lost my little tail on my tape. That's what I did. Okay. 90-degree angle. All the way over, all the way to the bottom, and down. And then I can pull this out so that it's going to grab immediately. Take my bone folder and get in here and burnish that down. And then, no, we can't do that because that pulls it up. Okay. I can tilt this in back just enough to get my backing off. And as I'm doing this, I just thought of an easier way that I could have done this. But at this point, it's done. We're going to leave it the way it is. I am not tearing it out of here to redo it. Okay. All right. So then this, same thing. We can push this in so that we know it's in where it needs to be. And because we did this piece out of chipboard, it's not going to get crushed. Okay. I'm going to find something longer that I can poke down in here and burnish all around the bottom and the inside, but this much of it is done. I will go ahead and mat the front of this because we do have something that's going on top, but you'll see a little bit of the edge. So going to go ahead and get that matting figured out. I'll be right back. Okay, so next up, we're going to do a pocket that's going on top of the little box pocket that we just did. So we have a piece of cardstock that is 11 1/4 by 9. We're going to start on the 11 1/4 inch side, and we are going to score this at 1/2 inch and 1 1/4. Okay, I'm going to turn it 1/2 inch again, 1 1/4. Okay, I'm going to turn it to the 9 inch side. I'm going to score 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 6 1/2, and 7 1/4. Okay. Oh, good. Now, I'm going to grab my trimmer that I swear is cutting things crooked, but I digress. Okay. What I'm going to do is line my little guide wire there up on top of the 1 1/4 inch score line. Okay. I have my 1/2 inch and my 1 1/4 up here. My bigger pieces are away from me. Okay. I am going to cut down that line to the 6 1/2 inch score line. Okay. No, you're not. God damn it. Yes, you are. Okay, sorry. I had to think for a second there because the way this goes together. No, that is exactly what we're doing. I apologize. Okay, it's been a long night. It's been a long week, honestly. I need to just go to bed. Okay, turn it the other way. And line up on that 1/2 inch score, or 1 1/4 inch score line. Okay. Now, I am going to cut across here and cut that off. Could I have done this in multiple pieces? Absolutely, I could. That is not what I wanted to do. Okay. So then you're going to cut in here. We're going to cut that off. So that you have a tab. Okay. So on this side, cut in here. My lighting seems weird, and I know it's because my son was messing with it. All right. So how this is going to go together. I'm going to fold and burnish all of my score lines. Okay. This is going to be the top. This little short piece is going to be the bottom. So again, fold and burnish. Fold and burnish. This is where you're going to want to double check your mitering. I have stuff stuck to my scissors. Weird. Okay. I'm going to just clean that up a little bit with that folded in. Get that nice and even. Same thing there. Okay. And then I can fold these lines over. And over. Okay. So we're going to fold this up like so. And we're going to move those tabs around to the back to close off our the bottom of our pocket. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get glue there. I'm going to use my table to get that bottom nice and flat and glue that down. Okay. Oh, look, I had my measurement written on the back here and didn't even realize it. Okay. And again on this side. All right. So we've got that little tab somewhere in there. Where did my little tab go? Oh, they're running up the side here. So what I'm going to do is just get in there, kind of bend it back enough that I can get some glue on it, which I'm going to have to use the normal glue bottle for that. Ugh. Where's my normal glue? There it is. Assuming this one's not clogged. Oh, no, it's not. Good. That's a first. Okay. Honestly, it's the first thing I've figured out with that glue thing that I can't do. Amazing. In weeks of using this. And nothing else. That's the first time I haven't been able to get it in somewhere I needed to. Okay. All right, so those are tucked down, or tacked down, that is. Okay, so turn it over this way. We're going to put score tape because we are going to use the very tail end of the awesome acetate as the flap on this. Okay. So my acetate is 8 3/4 by 4 because literally I had a 4-inch wide strip left. So that's what we're going with. Okay. I'm going to fold that little tab it's going on. No, I'm not even going to fold it flat. I'm going to line this up. It should be even side to side. And I got it lined up wrong on this end because of course I did. But it's acetate, so it pops right back off. And that's okay. All right, we're going to do this the other way around because that did not work. All right, acetate or tape's going to go directly on the acetate instead. Because it was all nice and folded, did not want to work the way I wanted it to. But that's okay. All right. So instead of taking the whole thing off this time, we're just going to make ourselves that little tail. We're going to line it up. And we can lay it nice and flat. Okay. Good side to side. It keeps sliding on me because it's been a long week and this is how my brain is not functioning today. Okay, there we go. We're good. There, I'm gonna burnish that down with my bone folder. And then this is going in here like so. And I'm not going to put this one in here yet, but this fun little photo wallet will sit in here like so. This was my prototype. So, because you can just kind of see the tape there, what I'll do is take one of those border stickers off the this and that sticker sheet and cover that up. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and glue this down on top of that pocket. So I'm going to just put this to the bottom, center it up side by side. Really didn't need to mat the entire piece there, but just in case, I didn't want to, you know, go to put this down and have it like be weird. So, all right, there you go. So, next up are going to be all of our little flips and flaps. Okay, so flips and flaps. We are going to do a belly band. For the belly band, you need cardstock that is 4 by 10. And we're going to go through and score everything, and then we'll worry about assembly. So, belly band, you're going to start with 10 inch at the top, score it 1/2 inch, turn it around, 1/2 inch again. On top of the belly band, there is going to be a pocket. Pocket is 7 by 5. We're going to start with the 5 inch at the top, score 1/2 inch, turn, 1/2 inch, turn, 1/2 inch again. Okay. On top of that pocket, there's going to be a waterfall. So I have 5 pieces that are 4 by 4.5, 4.5 at the top. We're going to score all of these at 1/2 inch. Okay, next flap is going to be 6 by 9. This one, we're going to score it 1/2 inch. Wait a minute, hold on. There we go. Sorry, I needed my notes because we're getting into the other stuff now. 6 inch at the top. I score it 1/2 inch, and it's 7/8. Okay, so that you have a gusset. Next one is 9 by 9 3/4. With the 9 3/4 at the top, you're going to score it 1/2 inch and 3/4. Next flap is 9 by 10. With the 10 inch at the top, you're going to score it 1/2 inch and at 1 inch. Okay. And then I have another 6 by 10. And this one with the 10 inch at the top, we're going to score it 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Okay. There are things that will go on some of these flaps. We're going to do those after we get them in the book, so that we can kind of see how everything is stacking up and how we actually want to put those in. So I'm going to start on my flaps by mitering. And so we're just mitering from the first score line out. You do not miter your waterfall pieces. The pocket, we're going to miter at the top. And then we are going to cut through on the bottom where the score lines cross. Okay, and then miter both ends on the belly band. Okay. So let's grab our book, our folio, I guess, and we are going to start with the 6 by 10. Okay. So I'm going to fold my first score line and burnish. And we're going to go ahead and glue that in, centered up down here on the bottom. Maybe. I think I need to fill my glue, actually. Okay, let me fill my glue. I'll be back. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to center this on the bottom here. Flush with the bottom. Okay. Hold that back. I'm not going to bend that second score line just yet. Okay, so this flap can either come across or it can come down. It looks like it's just slightly wide, so let me trim just a teensy bit off of it. That's not that one. And that is one thing that you always do want to do, is just double check that, especially with folios, since they don't typically have pages, it's a little bit different. You want to make sure they're going to fit where you want them to fit. And I'm going to take just a tiny bit off of the end as well. Okay. We're good. I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish. I'm going to flip this around. And that is going to go all the way to the top and all the way to the outside edge. Okay. And again, I'm not going to fold my gusset yet. The next piece is going to come in, hold on, wait a minute, which is which? Actually, it's this one. Okay, this one's going to come in from the side. And again, I am going to take just a hair off of the overall height on this, just to make sure it's going to fit the way I want it to. Okay, this one's going to come in from this side. Make sure everything is going to close up the way I want it to. And we're good. Okay. Alright, this one's going to come in from this side. You could have it come up from the bottom. Really, you could turn it any way that you wanted it to. Man, I must not have been paying attention when I cut these last night, because every single one of them is just slightly off. So you could stack this one underneath. You could have it go whichever direction. That's the nice thing with folios, is most of your flaps and things, you can turn them whichever way you want as long as you've got the space. Okay, so I am going to go on this inside. Okay. I didn't just put that too close to the spine. Nope, we're good. Okay. So, next thing we're going to put down is going to be our belly band. I bet you anything I'm going to have to cut some off of this when I score it. So, that's exactly what I'm going to do, just because I'm pretty sure it it's an easy enough fix before you put it in. Okay. All right. And that is just going to go in here like so. I'm actually going to turn this to the side so I can see and make sure. Yep, good thing I cut just a hair off of that. So again, cut them to the measurement I said, do the scoring, and then before you glue them down, lay them in and make sure they fit the way you're expecting them to fit. It will save you a lot of heartache and a lot of hassle in the long run. Okay, so this, I'm going to move this direction. We're going to work on this little waterfall in the pocket. Okay, I'm not going to fold the pocket yet. I am going to do my waterfall pieces. Okay, so I'm going to fold and burnish. Take a plug your watch in. Okay, so we are going to build this on top of the pocket. So this will be the top of our pocket. Of course, that's the bottom. And we are going to put it on here just like this. Okay. Like so. Next piece. Okay. And then I'm going to erase this so I don't end up with it like partially sticking out where I can't erase it. Okay. For this last piece, rather than put it on so you've got that little tab showing, we're actually going to fold it back and glue that tab on top of the other so that when this is folded up, there's not anything down there. So this is where I'm just having light issues this time. I don't know why. Okay. And there we go. Now I can turn this over and fold and burnish the sides of my pocket. We could have done it beforehand, but then it tries to kind of stand up when you're putting those waterfall pieces on, and that doesn't always work well. Okay, so this is actually going to go like so. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball it so it's about 1/2 inch from the bottom. I'm going to start with the bottom only. And glue that down. Okay, and I can fold it back. And then over and down. The only thing I did not do, which we should be able to do very quickly since it's there we go. We do need a closure here, so I am going to kind of pop the bottom of that up because we do want to tuck it underneath there. So this piece is 2 by 6. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 5/8 of an inch. I'm going to miter it. I knew I had one here somewhere. And that needed to be attached prior to the pocket going down, and I forgot. So we're just going to perform a little bit of surgery like I always tell the ladies at the retreats. We'll get it on there. There we go. Then I can just get a little line in there and glue the bottom of that pocket back down. And I can push that back against itself, and that will go on here to hold down that waterfall. Okay, so now we can start folding our gussets. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to fold that down. Pull it back, and that stands up. Over here, again, down, push it back, and that stands up. And then at the top, same thing, fold that over, push it back in, it stands up just fine. And there as well. Okay, so then that whole thing closes up like so, and there we go. Okay, let me gather up some stuff that's going to go on all of our little flaps and things here, and I will be right back. Okay, so elements on the flaps are going to be very simple because, of course, you're going to have your other pieces that go over here that will hold pictures as well, so we're not going to do a ton over here. All right, so let's score everything. First up, I have 2 pieces that are 6.5 by 4.5. With the 6.5 at the top of the scoreboard, I'm going to score these both at 1/2 inch. And you will notice that I cut this flap down. It did run all the way to the top, and as I was figuring out these other pieces, I was like, you know, I really don't like that. So I did just cut off half of it. So you can do it either way. I did cut this off so that this piece right here is 4.5 inches high. So it comes up halfway. All right, next up I have a pocket. This is 7 by 5.5. That doesn't sound right. Because it's not, that should be. No, that is right. Okay, sorry. brain damage. Okay, so on the 7-inch side, which I'm going to take a little bit off of that to make sure it's going to fit where I want it to. We're going to score 1/2 inch on 2 short sides and 1 long side. Okay. I have 2 pieces that are 6 by 12. Both of these are going to be kind of photo flaps. So this one is a full 6 by 12. I'm going to score this at 6 inches. Okay. This one I did cut about 1/16 of an inch off of. And this one we're going to score at 4 and at 8 because this will fold in. So I've got my one side that's slightly shorter. We'll keep this from, you know, bubbling when you fold it in. Okay. Where did my bone folder go? So I'm going to go ahead and burnish these. So this one and this one will not get glued into the book until there is matting on the base. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just fold those and set them aside. We can go ahead and miter our pocket. So you're going to cut on the bottom through where the score lines intersect, and then miter at the top. And then I'm going to miter both of these flaps. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let's fold this back in. I'm going to fold this flap down. These two are going to overlap right here. And I want them, so they're going to kind of sit up like so. No, I don't want those here. That's what I decided. This one, so our little flip out, is actually going to go right here. Okay, so I need to mat around here, and what I will end up doing, let me just show you. I'm just grabbing a random odds and end piece. I most likely will end up using ghosts. What I'll do is I'll mat this, and before I glue this part down, I will stick a ghost or 2 sticking out on either side of this. Okay. To keep this part closed and keep this part closed, I most likely am going to use a magnet, and what I will do, and I'll try and show you that before I mat those parts, but what I'll do is do one here and then do it here, so this part holds this thing closed, so that when you lift this up, that opens up like so, rather than using magnets here and then another set of magnets there. So yeah, so this one I'm just going to set aside because we're not going to put that there. These are going to go on the back side of that. So I am going to go ahead and fold and burnish. That is probably my lone complaint, and it's not with this, it's with the art glitter glue, is because it is a little bit thinner. It tends to kind of leak out the end, even on that awesome little silicone piece. Okay, so this, we're just going to center it up here. And on the opposite side, oh good, the grounded one is up practicing piano. Okay, just like that. Okay, let's go ahead and fold and burnish our pocket. Okay, that And I did cut it wrong. I knew I was not imagining things. Oh my lord. Or was I doing it on here? No, I cut it wrong. Okay. I know what I did too, because I was thinking, oh, this is 6 inches. No, it's not. It's 5. Aha. So, once again, easy enough fix. Okay, so I cut this down to 6 inches instead of 7. And then we'll just remiter. Super easy fix. Going to assume he is done painting down here because he disappeared. He went to go get my Doodlebug design team package off the porch and he never came back. Okay, so this one is going to go in here, and I did actually cut a little bit too much off of it, but that's okay. It will be fine just like that. You can do it top or bottom. I think I'm going to do it on top just because there's a little bit more of a gusset in there on this top part of this than there is on the bottom. And by that I mean the gusset on this flap where it lays over the top. Except of course this does not want to cooperate now because it's sitting on top of other things. So we're just going to flip the whole thing upside down. Alright, at this point I'm just going to glue the bottom and decide if I need to mat the entire length of this and then put this down, or if it's going to matter. So I'm not going to adhere that all the way down at this point. Okay, so that's there. This one is where this is going to go. Okay, so this comes up here, this goes here, this one goes here, and there you have it. Okay, I'm going to do some of the matting I need to do, and I'll come back and show you how we're going to do our magnets here and get this wrapped up. Okay, so let's get our 2 center positioned flaps in here. So we have our little 4x6 that's going to open up like so. I've got my magnet on the inside there, and what I did is kind of laid this approximately where it's going to go centered up here. Okay, so then I can figure out where my magnet needs to go. I don't want it too high because of course the other one's going on the back side here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there so that it's ready. And then I'm going to do my glue, and I'm not going to go all the way to the edges on this because I will end up tucking some little odds and ends pieces around the edges of this one. So I don't want to fully glue it down, but since I don't know for sure which ones I'm going to put there, I don't want to, you know, put myself into a corner essentially. All right, so this is ready to go. I just have to fold this over, push it down so I can pick it up, and there we go. Okay, now truly I probably could have gone down in here further with this one. In fact, I might add, just because I don't know, once it's matted, I don't think it's going to sit quite like I want it to. So I'm going to add one more. Okay, so that's the direction. Okay, so I'm going to close that down in like so. So then that all closes up. Okay, my other piece, what I've done, this one's an easy one because I've got my magnet here, I've got my magnet on the back, so it's all lined up, ready to go, and I can literally just glue it down. And again, I'm not going to go right, I'm just going to drop it in my lap instead. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I can come back later and stick the edge of my glue underneath to set those in where I really, or seal those edges off. And there's that. This piece, self-explanatory. I did notch this. I meant to do it before I glued it on there, but because I hadn't attached this piece here, it was very easy for me to just go ahead and notch it. So I'll mat this and then I'll put that down, and the rest of it is pretty much self-explanatory. I mean, nothing super complicated. So I will go ahead and finish matting and decorating, and there you go. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. The next project that is going to be coming is what's going in this pocket over here. And, you know, if you end up making this, please share it on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. You can tag me on Facebook under Scrapping Under the Influence. Also on Instagram at Scrapping Under the Influence. And I have a group on Facebook called Scrap Happy Peeps that you can share anything you make, whether it's one of my tutorials or not. It does not matter. You can share those things there, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!